Hey there, delightful makers. In this tutorial, I am going to show you how I machine bind my quilts. Now, as I mentioned in the original binding tutorial, I rarely machine bind my quilts. I don't feel like I am really good at it, and I struggle with making the back even right here. So you can see on the back, now this is expected to be just a little bit wonky because that's where the seams overlap for where it started and ended with the binding. But you can even see here where it kind of curved and went a little wonky on me. And that drives me crazy. So I rarely machine bind because I can control this better with my hand binding. But if it is something small like this and something that I know won't really be seen a lot on the back, this is a little mug rug, so really you never will see the back because it's always going to be against a table, then I will machine bind because I want it just to be done and done quickly. When you machine bind, think about your threads. I did use a white thread because I wanted it to be invisible in the front, so it just kind of blends in with the quilting. But because I have a dark blue binding, it is really visible here on the back. So if you have contrasting binding and front, think about your thread, and if it's like mine where nobody's really going to see that, then it's fine. Don't worry about it. Pick the thread that works best for the front. So that's one thing to think about. A tool that I use quite often when I am machine binding is the zipper foot. So this is the presser foot 4D for my Bernina, and your machine has a zipper foot. It may have a number, it may just be called the zipper foot. But this foot kind of has this cool little foot on the end, and this is what allows you to put your needle either here or here and sew your zippers. But it also works for binding because I can put my zipper foot right here on the edge and move my needle over so that it's hitting right here and it will stitch around. So I'm going to demonstrate that for you. Let's go to the machine. All right, so I have my zipper foot attached and I have my needle all the way to the right. So it is going to be stitching along the right edge of the zipper foot. And I'm going to start here, not on the corner, because I want to make sure when I go around the corners that I catch those corners. And I'm going to put my foot down so that the foot is right on the edge of my binding, where that fold is for my binding. And when I lower my needle, you will see that it is right on the edge also. I have my stitch length just set to a normal stitch length, so it's at 2.5 right now. And I'm just going to stitch, keeping the zipper foot on the edge of the binding. And I'm going to go all the way to the corner. I might need to lift, there we go. And then I'm going to lift the foot, turn it, and bring it down. And then I will continue going around. I'm just lifting the foot to see if I can't come all the way to the corner. This can go one more stitch. That one more stitch was actually one too far. So I'm going to actually lift my needle and I'm going to adjust this where I want it. Now I am using a white thread because I don't want the stitches to show on the front. but because I have this dark blue binding, they will definitely show on the back. But this is just a little mug rug. The back really isn't very important. But that is something you want to think about when you are machine binding. You don't want your thread to contrast too much with the front or the back if you are going to be doing something where the back is going to be visible all the time. With a mug rug, most people aren't going to see the back of the mug rug because it's going to be against a table. And I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning where I started. And I'm going to leave my thread tails a little bit long to start with because I'm actually going to take these thread tails and then I will bury them inside the center of the little mug rug. So here you can see my little stitching has gone all the way around. So here you can see it actually skipped a couple of stitches, probably because of the thickness. That's something you want to watch for. I probably need to adjust the tension a little bit, but because it's just that one little corner, I can either just re-go over that or I can just leave it. You really can't see it once the binding kind of covers over it. Again, it's just a mug rug. It's not a really huge mistake. You make the call based on what you like. I'm okay with that. So here you can see all the stitching around, and then this is the reason that I struggle with machine binding, because to me the back never looks great, but this isn't too bad. So it has come across, it has caught the corner properly, so it's going to hold that corner down. My binding was a little bit big, so it's coming way in, like there's a lot of extra binding here. If your binding's a little bit smaller, then you may not have so much there. This is where the overlap is, so that's why it kind of does that little wonky wave. That is something I would have more control over if I was hand binding. So that's one reason I do like hand binding better, because I can control and smooth that out and I don't end up with that weird wave there. It even happened here, to be honest. So it's really simple to machine bind. I think the hardest part really is making it look just as good on the back as it looks on the front. I only machine bind when I don't care what the back looks like. I know it's not really going to be visible. So it's up to you. Practice and you will get much better at it probably than I am. And now it's your turn. Go make something beautiful.